Oh, finally, I'm here. We have ourselves a game. Yay! So we're going to see ourselves 2 games today, or at least I am assuming still, as we are, of course, quite far past the starting time. So I'm hoping that our second match won't start before we are ready for it. But first of all, we're going to see Vhoul Assassins taking on Q Insane Gaming, Q Cyber Insane Gaming, I should say. And we're going to see one game only, because it's a loser bracket game and it's elimination. So only best out of 1. A lot of pressure on these 2 teams. Luckily, I don't have to do this all by myself. I'm joined by Vickermont. Vickermont, welcome to the broadcast. How are you?
Good to be on, Shiva. I'm great. I'm excited to see this game. Both these teams have done pretty well so far in the tournament. Obviously, Vhoul had a tough series against the Retry. They did take a game, I think. It was 2-1.
Yeah, it was 2-1. Yeah.
So honestly, I think either team could take this. They're both pretty competent. So we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, and to be honest, we casted some best out of 1s on Sunday. And I think that it's safe to say that best out of 1 games are just super explosive.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
I have to say I'm expecting a lot from these series, from these games. I have high expectations. Maybe because most of the games in this tournament so far have been just really good. There's no
we've
other way
had
to
some
say
really
it.
good games.
I mean,
I agree.
Rampages and everything. Yesterday's games, you missed those, but those were very good as well. Oh, wow, I say that. Like, it was okay, so did you manage to catch VODs of yesterday's games by any chance?
I saw the Meepo game. It wasn't yesterday. It was 2 days ago,
yes.
I think.
The Meepo game was on Saturday. Now,
Right.
yesterday, Vhoul Assassins, of course, lost their game. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in our loser bracket game.
Yes.
But it was a 3-game series, so we saw all 3 games.
Yeah.
Our first game, because it was very unfortunate. It was a big throw. I'm not going to be able to call it any other way.
Yeah, I saw the VOD for that.
It was just, like, there's no other way to call it. They had it in the bag, like, they really did. And they just threw it away.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, right? Especially for a newer team. It's very easy to... A newer team and or evil geniuses. It's very easy to have a commanding advantage and then lose it.
Yeah. And, I mean, I'm hoping that today they're going to be performing a bit better. We saw a lot of Invoker yesterday, but I think also Q Cyber did their homework and therefore banned out that Invoker in one of the first banning rounds. Doom and Luna removed by Vhoul Assassins. I'm not really sure about the Doom, but that might be because Vhoul was thinking about picking up the Timber Saw and now has picked that one up.
I think it's definitely partially that they wanted to pick Timbersaw. I also think Doom is just really a top tier hero. I think it's okay to spend a first ban on this guy sometimes. If you plan on picking any hero that Doom shuts down, which is so much of the pool just becomes so intensely useless once Doom is on them. Like, even something like Gyrocopter or Anti-Mage, Doom pretty much hard counters those heroes, so... we'll have to see what Vhoul fills out with. So far, it's massive, like, magic damage lineup.
I have to say, I really love the Visage Sandkin combination. I made a point of that yesterday as well. It's such a strong roaming combination. I really love the Grave Chill followed up by the Burrow Strike. And I'm hoping that Vhoul can also lay down an aggressive game here. But of course, I mean, Q Cyber, this is a Nyx Assassin offlane, right?
Probably.
Or is it a Dazzle mid?
10 seconds remaining.
Well, whether the Nyx is offlane or not doesn't necessarily mean the Dazzle isn't mid, right? He could definitely be mid.
True. Wow. By the way, this draft is going real fast. This is only the first time that a team goes into bonus time. That also means that I'm super behind on filling in all the heroes on the overlay. It's really stressful, but yeah.
You should try to get the code to, like, because some people have, like, some sort of automatic, like, puller, right? I don't know how they do it.
No, because there was a different overlay in Starletter and there was a different overlay for Dream League, but both of those had someone that constantly filled in the hero that was fixed.
Really? Like, even the stuff, like the GD Studio plugin thing was manual?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I do believe it was.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Bruno was walking around with an iPad all the time. So
he just does that because he's fashionable.
Or that.
That's just as an accessory, sure.
Okay. Well, I was able to see that. He had his iPad, and then he could fill in who goes on which lane and everything.
That's
it was cool.
Really cool. Yeah, I know the lane stuff was. Yeah, it's neat. I know he worked with the Scotty people on that, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sinking's good. I actually wonder. Yeah, okay. So I was gonna say Dazzle mid probably doesn't work here, just because there's not really a lot of people you can frag, and also the early levels might not help that much in this particular situation. So it looks like it might be mid Batrider.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that one. I would actually like that very much, because they also need something that can be very aggressive early on, together with the Nyx Assassin, because Nyx Assassin by himself is a bit obvious, perhaps, and Batrider just, you know, fills it out properly. I like that. Puck picked up by Vhoul Assassins.
Radiant team ban.
I kind of like that aggressiveness from their team, though. I mean, I mentioned the roaming combination of Visage and Sand King, but right now I feel like there's a lot of pressure on them to do well early game, because mid game, Cyber Insane is going to be, like, ruling them, I think.
Well, they can basically kidnap anybody. Maybe Puck can get out with a lucky phase shift or something, but once Batrider's got his Blink Dagger, once Nyx Assassin is level 6, they can very easily kill almost any of these heroes except for Timbersaw. No, I mean, I think both lineups are pretty solid so far. I do think Vhoul Assassins with the Puck are putting their eggs very much in the initiation and blow up the entire enemy team extremely quickly basket. And we'll have to see whether their carry doubles down on that decision, or if it's someone more versatile and does other things. So they Cyber Insane banned the Gyro, which I think is a smart ban. I mentioned earlier that it's a good hero to pick when you know Doom isn't going to be picked up. So yeah, they take Morphling, so... Morphling, yeah, it's a cool pick, I guess.
And they're really profiting from the ban that Vhoul already made on Doom that way. Oh, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, Morphling, another hero that when you see a Doom ban, you can definitely pick it. Morphling and Dazzle have some pretty decent synergy. If Morph is all the way morphed into Agi, and Dazzle heals him, and then he morphs into Strength, that can be a pretty potent combo.
Yeah. Vhoul Sass. I want them to get maybe. Yeah, well, I guess Lifestealer is already banned out. Luna. Which core would you pick? Like one. You can only say one. For Vhoul Assassins. Luckily, they have
Assassins?
like 2 minutes left, but yeah, for Vhoul Assassins. Like, you're expecting a carry, right?
Yikes.
Whoa! I was not expecting that one. If I were to guess, I would not expect that one. That is a Drow Ranger.
I was actually going to say Death Prophet, but this is fine too.
I would have not believed you if you said that you were actually going to say
Really?
Drow Ranger, I think.
Oh, no. I was not going to say Drow, but no, I'm not that. Yes, of course.
Yes, I knew this all along.
All according to Keikaku. Yeah, no, I mean, Drow's an interesting hero. The reason I brought up the Death Prophet is they both share a good AoE silence. That used to be basically the exact same spell. Now it's not. Drow's actually got buffed quite a bit. It's this pushback silence. So that can be quite good against Morphling, obviously. Any sort of targeted... They now have Puck and Drow, who both have the opportunity to silence Morphling early in a fight.
Hey, by the way, what's your opinion on having the Morphling mid with Crystal Maiden, Nyx bottom with Dazzle, and Batrider offlane? It's very difficult,
I guess it
now
could work.
There's a Drow, there's a Puck mid, which is pretty decent for the Batrider regardless, but I actually think that it will give a lot to the Morphling.
It could. The downside to that lane arrangement is actually top lane, I think, would be really hard for Batrider. Because when you're up against Drow, once she's level 3 or so, all they have to do is Grave Chill, Burrow Strike, and Frost Arrows, and even if he Fireflies, he actually won't make it off the map before he dies. So that would be a pretty difficult lane matchup if Vhoul just runs the standard tri-lane top. But it might work, too. I don't know. I mean, honestly, it's not like you can't Batrider jungle. Like, you could do Nyx offlane, Dazzle solo safe, Morph CM mid, Bat jungle. Like, they can do a lot of laning that works with this lineup.
True.
Dazzle against Timber is okay for Dazzle.
I don't know. Ooh. Why don't I hear the sound
Timber
of the
has
fireworks?
base 0 armor, so Dazzle can actually, like, when Timber walks up to last hit him really hard with the heal.
Are you hearing in-game sounds?
Yes, I just heard the annoying firecracker sounds.
Well, I did not hear the firecrackers, and normally I would be very happy with that.
Yeah, right?
Oh, but the sound is still there. I checked the sound.
You should count your blessings, in my opinion.
That's good. Okay, so yeah, we have got ourselves a very interesting carry, I have to say. Morphling will definitely win it from Drowdo. I think there's a lot of pressure on that support duo from Vhoul. I'm not convinced about their lineup.
Honestly, I think Vhoul's lineup is pretty... Like, they have a timing at which... The thing about Drow is she doesn't need that great early farm to just be incredibly commanding for this section of the game that Morphling is still ramping up during. Like, what does she care if the Morphling has the Lincolns or not, right? She can just silence and kill him actually pretty easily around when she's level that 11, 16, or like just when she hits 16 range.
And the silence overall is, of course, very good against the Q Insane lineup regardless.
Yeah.
A lot of disability or disables coming out from Q is insane. And to be honest, we have seen Drow a lot more lately, especially in the American scene, though.
Yeah, I think Drow is definitely growing in legitimacy as a pick with the new silence ability. And they also will be able to leverage the fact that the Precision Aura helps your other ranged hero matchups, which mainly in this case is mid. So one thing that you have to watch out for with the Drow pick is you can use it with a Nature's Prophet, and the Nature's Prophet can actually hit Midas substantially faster than he would otherwise. But even with Puck, you can see that Puck actually has 58 damage, even though he doesn't have a Null Talisman. Like, he has Magic Stick, Branch, Tango, and he's saving for an early bottle, and his damage is still much higher than Batrider's.
Very true. Let's take a look at who's playing what, because you already mentioned the Puck. There's of course Wagamama sitting in the mid lane for Vhoul Assassins. And on the top lane we've got ourselves a bit of a dual lane going on right here. Duran will play the Visage with Luminan on the Drow Ranger. In the jungle right now, just stacking by the looks of it, it is going to be the Sand King. Hasn't spec'd anything just yet. I like the Sandstorm sitting around doesn't really work that much anymore, but well, he's actually making his way back to base. He already has boots though, so that's a sign of a high aggression early on. And of course last, it is Levkin on the side of Vhoul on the bottom lane, who will get harassed out of the lane here by this Dazzle. So that's everybody on Vhoul Assassins. I'll leave Q Insane to you.
Sure. So Q Insane, looking to make it out of the losers bracket if they can. Big Num on the Morphling. He's supported in his lane by Wicked Sick on the Dazzle. Tompa also on the Crystal Maiden, currently mostly jungling, as we generally expect with the CM. In the middle, it's Chomi on the Batrider, facing off against Wagga. Wagga misses the orb there. And the top lane, it's Tilt on the offlane Nyx Assassin. Leveling actually fairly okay. I mean, he's almost level 3.
Yeah, you can't expect anything
lane.
more.
Yeah.
These supports can be turning against you very fast. And these supports, of course, also, I mean, they want to have their level 2 before they start ganking, right? So Tilt's feeling experience from their jungle.
They want 3. RMN has to be 3, basically, for the second rank of Burrow Strike. Tilt, yeah, I like this. This is definitely a 6.79 strat, because you share the jungle.
Timbersaw, no, he has a Timber Chain level 1. Is able to get away, but with the Haitian of Wicked Sick, it looks like he just wants to get the kill right here, right now. He gets it as well. Diving.
Yep.
Okay, diving. Like maybe no, he's fine.
Through, yeah.
He's fine. That Haste Rune helps out a lot.
So yeah, that's the lane matchup I was talking about. Dazzle actually, Timbersaw. Yeah, I think he made a mistake. He probably should have done a Ring of Protection. Actually, it's not usually a starting item for Timbersaw, but against Dazzle, you can just see he's getting completely wrecked by this Shadow Wave. And so I think that if he was going to even try to walk up to the lane, he probably should have picked up a Ring of Prot.
Yeah, and regardless, like reactive armor later on in the game, Dazzle is also going to be one of his worst enemies right there because of that minus armor. Timbersaw really needs his tankiness to be Timbersaw, kinda.
No, I agree with you. I mean, it's definitely a good pick for Q Insane. They're using it well. The other cool thing about Dazzle, actually, is because the Poison Touch is a mini-stun on cast, he can use it to interrupt Timber Chain if he times it properly.
True. I didn't even think about that just yet, but yeah. No getting away from this Dazzle. And by the way, this Dazzle is, of course, together with other support, together with Crystal Maiden, is making sure that Big Num is getting just absolute free farm. Now, we can compare him to the Drow, and he's still a bit behind on that, but his denies are actually quite insane. He's sitting on 16 denies, so even if Timbersaw will get close, like look at him, he is still level 1. We're almost 4 minutes into this game. It's huge. It is.
Holding Timbersaw down like this is amazing. Like, even, like, he's one of the heroes in the offlane that most needs to actually level comfortably. Like, your Clockwork can be 4 levels behind, but if you hit 6, it's like, okay. Your Nature's Prophet can be behind because he can always just go to the jungle. Timber jungle is not great. I remember trying to do it on the test realm when he was first at it, and it was just like not a fun time. I was like, this really doesn't work. Like, you can do it, but it's so slow.
He finally gets level 2, so he finally has reactive armor. But you know, if we compare him to Tilt, he's sitting at level 4, so huge difference there for in favor
Nyx
of
is doing very well.
Yeah. Going
And
for the
he
block
picked up
still.
an early boots as well, which is smart because he probably saw the early boots on the Sand King. I wonder what we're going to see on Sand King this game. I think because these days we're seeing phase boots more and more often on the hero because he's no longer as desperate for mana post the Blink Dagger change. I still think Arcane Boots is the right choice some of the time. Like, people sometimes go phase boots in pub when it's a really bad idea. I'm thinking of a specific game I had a couple days ago, but I think in this game you could make phase boots work.
It could work. I like. Does he really need it when he has Grave Shield there though to help him out in terms of speed?
Yeah, that's he kind of still does, I feel, because he's not always going to be with the Visage, and it's better for a lot of the time for the Sand King stun to come earlier anyway, because you can Grave Chill, but then you stun them under tower, and they're still pretty safe.
Yeah, that is true. Well, for now, nobody is gonna get stunned. And for now also, I mean, Vhoul, that support combination, still not the level 3 that you said that they were aiming for. And on top of that, I'm kind of lacking the smoke in their inventory. They don't have that at all. So,
Well,
yeah.
it's just because Sand King can't really credibly threaten at all until he's 3. Now, he has just hit level 3. He'll get the second rank of stun, and then maybe you'll see them starting to smoke. But in general, yeah, I think the Q Insane so far has the control that they want. Any time that they're spending not pressured is time that they're getting ahead, because, I mean, Batrider is still a pretty dominant middle laner. Like, he's doing substantially better than Waga is. He did get unlucky. He got a Mud Golem spawn in this camp, otherwise it would be very easy to just do the Shadow Fiend thing and rocket ahead. But even so, he's a little bit ahead, and Morphling has now caught up and exceeded the Drow for last hits, in addition to having 29 denies.
That's impressive. How did that happen? Like, Drow is not being pressured at all, is he?
Well, he's having to last hit under tower a lot because they're
Pulls
more
his
aggressively pulling the lane
Yep.
than the guys on Q Insane are. And as you know, if you've ever played Drow, like her
Yeah.
auto attack animation.
Not one of the most fun ones. And 2 Hanamitis picked up at the same time on the same team, by the way. Both Morph and Batrider. Batrider with Hanamitis means no early Blink Dagger. I'm actually
Yeah.
surprised to see that coming their way. But to be honest,
I
like
think-
if you're going to be with a Nyx Assassin that is already leveling okay, you don't need a Blink to get into position to go for the lasso. You just wait for the
That's-
Impale.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I think it's more to do with the fact that they know that the Morphling needs a lot of time to get established anyway. So they're like, well, whatever. We're not going to be fighting for a while anyway, so I don't need the Blink now. Batrider, like, a Midas doesn't give him that much. Like, what does the hero really need besides Blink Force? Like, I guess Mask of Madness. I'm a big fan. Scythe can be good. I don't know. Travels.
Yeah, we had a bit of a smoke gank from supports coming out, by the way. Both Stompa as well as Wicked Sick went top with the smoke, but either
See how
got
this
scouted
goes.
out and just were very careful. We do have an Invis rune for Waga, and that's a scary one. If he gets that silence off in time. Oh.
Oh,
He walked.
no.
Look at that sentry. That's perfect.
Wow.
I thought for a second he walked
yeah,
in tower
really,
range,
really smart placement of that sentry.
but that sentry is awesome there.
Yeah, it actually is, because it catches exactly the entire rim of the...
Yeah, the path.
It's funny,
that
because
someone
he
walked-
was not in vision range of the... I didn't see the sentry, so I was like, huh? What the hell happened? And
I
yeah,
thought for a
it's-
moment, like, did he get too close to the tower? But then I
Yeah.
went down a bit. It's like sentry. Okay.
like, is Waga a scrub? And no, it turns out he's not actually a
Turns out
scrub.
he's not. He's being
He's only like
counter-voted.
6k MMR or something.
Yeah, scrub. Well, that was a gank failed. I mean, Vhoul, they try apparently, but no such luck just yet. And these are the kind of things that they have to do, like with runes. That's the surprise element. If the supports are still top, then it's Waga that needs to have it from the runes. He actually gets a double damage rune. He's gonna go bottom. Let's see if they can. A Dream Coil coming out as well. Oh wow, Grave very early, but apparently enough because that damage would have been enough to 3-shot a Dazzle.
Yeah.
But the
No,
yeah.
actually, that was I think that Grave decision was brilliant. Like, he managed to make it very easy for him to TP out, because of course Puck can't stop TPs except with Dream Coil.
Yep.
Great job. I mean, there was no reason not to Grave, because all he needed to do was cover the time that he would spend TPing out.
True.
Like, it was... Oh, man, Levkin is just taking a beating and now in this lane. Even Big Nom alone is enough to bully him.
He's level 5, up against the Morphling that's level 8 at the moment. I mean, this Morphling is not the most foul one because he did go for the Hanamitis, but he is throwing out
Right.
a mean punch.
Yeah, I mean, Morph Midas, if Vhoul don't make something happen, and again, Drow has this window in which she's just incredibly dominant, because she basically, oh man,
You mean
she's
the
in trouble
Drow
now.
that's about to die? This one? Blue Banana is gonna... Well, he's gonna try to throw it a Gust, but it's not gonna work out. That's a kill for Wicked Sick. And in comes some support. And they might be able to get off Tilt. The Spike Carapace and the Grave are there to keep him up though. And he's going to try to teleport out as well. Should be able to do so. Barely makes it out. But it is enough. And Wicked Sick will make it out as well. In the meantime, his team, Q Insane, bottom lane, solo kill for Big Num's Morphling on the Timbersaw. 3-0. And I mentioned it earlier, Vhoul needed to get that early game going their way because it's not going to get any easier later on.
I gotta say, Wicked Sick is playing a great Dazzle game so far, just using his tools exactly correctly at each situation and getting the Nyx out there. Even if Nyx had died, I mean, it's well worth it. But the fact that Nyx got out safe is just, it's great. It's great play by Dazzle. Waga's hasn't been able to really dominate as Puck so far. He has his power treads done. He's doing okay, like he's halfway to Blink, but he hasn't generated any kill opportunities. Maybe this Invisarune will be more successful.
I hope so for him. They need it. They definitely do need it. And he is the playmaker for now. Armen's coming forward. Gets an epicenter off. The silence is there. That should be the first kill. Indeed it is. Oh, but it's also going to be a kill for Big Num because he just decided to teleport himself in.
Nice
and
TP.
Gets himself a kill. Just like that. Like,
yeah.
Worth the trade in the end. I would say.
It's an okay trade.
Okay,
I do think that Vhoul will be happy as well because that's the one thing we didn't talk about was as Waga rotated for those unsuccessful ganks, Sanking rather than continuing to farm jungle. Oh, they actually find Crystal Maiden, but actually, oh no, Visage has been taken down top. Yeah. So
I'm gonna follow
Nyx
Big
is
Num
doing
though
work.
because Big Num decides to get himself another kill. Timbersaw for Crystal Maiden. I actually almost would be saying that it was an okay trade for a Vhoul rather in this case because at least Timbersaw gets levels. From that.
Yeah,
I mean he was dead anyways.
He's up to 7, which is good. He's only 1 level behind Nyx. So yeah, I think it's a fine trade for Vhoul. The other thing is that RMN, during that time that he was farming mid, and the fact that he got a kill on what was at the time a level 9 Bat Rider, he's now up to almost level 8 on Sand King. 7 is the critical level for SK, and he picked up that Blink Dagger, which you can now build before Arcane Boots instead of having to wait for the Arcane Boots, again, because the mana changes. Yeah. So now they have a Blink Sand King. This could completely change the game.
This is, yeah, it's a big pickup. It is indeed. Let's see if that first surprise Blink, that has to be the one to make it worth it. They burst strike in, they know Wave Him is on cooldown, they should be able to take him down. The burst is there, and Timbersaw gets the credit for that one. And that is a 300 gold. In the meantime, the Drow Ranger does get picked up on the top lane. I mean, yeah, she is still pretty squishy, especially if there's 3 heroes around to take her down, but they lose their Morphling, which is actually, in this case, it's a good trade for Vhoul.
It is. Again, Drow needs a little bit less farm to be competitive, and he's going straight for that BKB. So still, Lasso will still be dangerous, but Nyx Assassin and Crystal Maiden will be far less dangerous.
Hey, can you shine some light on Drow Ranger's build? In terms of, well, in
skills?
terms of skills, but also, I guess, in terms of items, even though it looks like BKB first item, I guess. But
well, yeah, the BKB rush is just anti... Like, he's getting destroyed by this Nyx Assassin, right? And that's not going to stop happening. Nyx is quite strong against Drought because he can initiate and already... I mean, she has, like, a tiny bit of warning because it's like, my aura turned off. But still, once he's on top of her, like, she can't do too much. She has sort of just blind gust and hope it pushes him back enough that she can escape. So I think BKB is a sensible pickup because, again, she doesn't... Like, all she needs is levels, really, which at this point she's not getting, which is bad, but I think the BKB is very important just to prevent ganks.
Okay, sorry, I turned my microphone on and off in Dota TV. Hopefully it's fixed now.
Oh, but, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was off.
Me neither, I just looked at the chat for a second.
I mean, also, her skill build, maxing Precision Aura here really helps Puck's ganks, because his auto attack will be helped by it. And I mean, the Drow is playing a pretty defensive role at this stage in the game, and there's nobody really to harass out of lane or anything, so Frost Arrows is essentially pointless.
It's true. It's not an aggressive game enough for her to go for
and
that.
Yeah, and the other spells are good now. I mean, Precision Aura is good, you can activate it to help push, it helps Puck, and the Silence is great.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 seconds is...
It's sick. And it's... I don't know, it has such a big effect as well. It's easier to cast than the previous Silence as well, I find.
It is.
Yeah, I really like the new Silence.
You have to get used to the cone, but still, like, it's great. And, yeah, I would say it's wicked sick, in fact.
We do... We do have Tilt finding Blue Banana first again. In comes Waga though, and he is actually able to save Blue Banana. Tilt will get saved for the moment, get some extra armor as well, decides to teleport himself out, and will make it out alive barely, but he lives. And that is probably better than they could have hoped for, because they were outnumbered 2-5.
Yeah. Their vision wasn't great. I mean, they saw the drow, obviously, but this ward, all it does is block camp and see drow. It doesn't help you at all to see the fact that 3 other people are coming to kill you. Now, again, smart play by Dazzle. He gets the save. He was actually 3-0 before that, but now he's 3-1. Cool build for him. Power Treads Orb of Venom, standard.
Yep, he's ready for taking over the
Carry
world.
Dazzle?
The Morphling.
Scotty? Hell yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why not? I like this from Vhoul though. They know they're behind and they're trying to make something of it. They get the Crystal Maiden who got a bit too close to where Vhoul was. But they go for 2 towers at one go, so they get a large chunk of gold. Yeah, they only get 1 kill in the jungle with that smoke, granted, but that 2 towers, that actually makes a big difference. It helps them get their core items up, and actually Chomi is gonna find Armen, who will get picked up here on the middle lane.
It's a nice kill for Chomi and Tilt, really, because they collaborated for that. But still, I mean, RMN, again, this Blink Senking is completely changing the game, because it lets them counter-initiate like they did in the jungle. It makes it very difficult to defend a tower with only people. Like you saw, Tampo walked up, and that was probably a bad decision because he didn't do anything and he immediately fed the Sand King.
Yeah.
Because, you just blink forward and stun them. So when a Sand King is pushing you, like when a team with the Sand King is, you really have to bring a lot of people or not at all. Because if you just bring 1 or 2, he's just going to instantly get those kills. Like, no problem.
Yeah, it's scary. That's what it is.
Wow, lots of sentries for our men. Yeah, they really want to get this. This Nyx Assassin is the main thing that's locking them out of doing better in the game than they are. So the sentries are to protect the drow as they set up bigger pushes.
Yeah, there's sentries everywhere. I like the fish wars, by the way. I just don't like that they're sitting in the dark if you click on them. It's like night home. We have got mechanism being built up at a
Oh
Visage.
yeah, what the hell? I never noticed that. That's so weird.
Yeah, it's probably a bug.
It's definitely a bug.
Yeah. Oh, Blink Lasso again. This time it is the puck. Let's see if he's going to get himself out. He phase shift, but it's a lot of damage that he's taking. It looks like he's going to make it out alive though. The Haystone really saving his life. And it is Vhoul with the Burrow Strike that takes 3 heroes down here in the middle lane. Now Big Gnome comes in. He actually weaveforms in, gets himself the Visage, gets himself out again as well. Got the puck there on the back of it as well with the help of or actually Dazzle got the puck. Buyback for Wag as well. They're gonna try to make the best of it. They're gonna try to take down a Bet Rider. If they can take it down, that would be a good trade. Jump forward, Chomi. He will get picked up. And actually, Waga jumped himself into a place where he probably did not aim to be, but nonetheless, he gets himself out. They take a tower off the back of that as well. They killed every single one of them apart from the Morphling, and they took a tower.
Yeah, that was a great, amazing fight from Vhoul. Again, this Blink Sand King is changing the game. You also saw that Gust from Drow being really useful there. It pushed people back so far as they tried to pick off the puck. In addition to silencing all these heroes that need to be constantly casting, Dazzle needs to spam spells, Nyx needs to spam spells, CM needs to spam spells, and none of them could do anything at all. So it was just a really well put together fight by Vhoul to take a tower. Yes, they spend buyback on Puck, but they managed to pick up the Bat Rider at the tail end. So yeah, they need just a few more of those fights and continue to take towers. If they can, all of a sudden, they're up 3 towers. They've taken 4 towers. So they're controlling most of the map now, and that's very important against Morphling.
Yeah, and if you look at the graphs as well, they're just back in favor of this game, actually. We're behind for most of the start, but those core items, basically those core Blink Daggers, are really making a big difference. And with that last fight, Visage, who was only building the mechanism just a while ago, already has it complete as well. So that will make a big team fight, especially if they're going to continue grouping up a lot, because they have been doing that. And I just want to point out again, oh my god, these sentries. Seriously, look at the river.
Yeah. It's an actual forest of sentries.
Yes.
They've got 6 of them down? Yeah, 6, 7.
At which point would you say,
7 sentries.
At which point would you say, get a gem?
They just got one. So this point... No,
because
I think
spending
they agree
so
with
much
you.
gold
They
on
looked
that.
at the map and they were like, we can save money by switching to Gemco.
Yeah, that's a big difference. And buying a gem this early is really good as well, because at some point you kind of have to assume that you might die, so you might lose a gem. But now it's at least already on cooldown, so you can get yourself a different one.
With Drow having BKB and Aegis, there's absolutely nothing stopping them from making, like, taking several towers. They are going to trade, so this is a smart trade for Q Insane. They're going to try to take 2 tier 1s for 1 tier 2. But still, I think, like, Vhoul are going to be starting to threaten high ground soon. But the problem is, if this fails, if they don't get these pushes, they're so behind on levels that it's going to get very hard very soon.
Yeah, Morphling is of course also known as a bit of a split pusher. He's not gonna Mantis Owl or anything like that. Just went for BKB first item. He actually is gonna turn it on. He's gonna go for Blue Banana. A couple more hits needed for the kill. He's not gonna get in range, so when the mechanism heals him up again, it is gonna be left good that they drag back. Also can be Timber chaining himself away. It looks to be surviving. And Burrow Strike up on 2. Epicenter coming out as well. Timbersaw did end up going down, but they get the Crystal Maiden. Maybe they can make something happen. Aegis gets burnt down. Sand King in some trouble. Will be going down as well. As 2 for 2 for the moment. Q Insane though, they're getting forced back a bit, back into their base, leaving Vhoul to just continue to attack the tower. Blue Banana, of course, back up again.
Can't take it.
And yeah, they have to back off, but they're not losing a fight.
Yeah, I think actually Q Insane is going to be happy with that. It was an even trade, but they also managed to take down the Aegis of the Drow. Very smart, by the way, for Blue Banana. Good grace under pressure again. I'm always impressed with this just because I know as a horrible player, like I always make this mistake of not using BKB when you don't need it.
Yeah.
Like he was like, regardless of whether my Aegis goes down or not, turning on BKB won't make a difference. So I'm going to keep this 10-second charge for a later team fight. And if I lose the Aegis, so be it. And he almost didn't even lose it. Like he was playing really safe. So it took a lot more effort for Q Insane to actually remove that Aegis of the Immortal off of the Drow. Nonetheless, good kill on Timbersaw and good defense. And again, I do think the level difference is gonna hurt. Like that Drow can, yes, he can stay alive, but he can't do anything to the Morphling unless he gets a good silence.
Yeah. By the way, Sand King did of course die there, but the gem is in the hands of the puck, so that didn't go to waste.
Nice. Sand King's going Vhoul. I love this in a magic damage heavy lineup like this. This is so smart.
It's also so much more effective. Oh, Tilt. He's in some trouble. His Impale misses as well, but he blinks away before they can do anything at all. And Burst Strike missed as well. Looks like the Vhoul has to back off again.
Nice Force Staff by Chomi on his friend the Sand King to keep him out of harm's way. And yeah, the Midas Batrider is starting to actually make an impact because he has Travels, Blink, Force Staff, so he can be anywhere to actually help a teammate out and bail them out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good pickup. You know what we need?
What?
Blink Drow.
Yeah.
So good. Arteezy did it. Must be good.
Must be new meta then.
Well, think about this. Drow just watches her character portrait, and then they don't even need any detection because the instant the gust that goes around her turns off, she just mashes the blink key to get away from the Nyx assassin.
This is true. This is true.
90% of the time it works every time.
Yeah, there's potential there. However, I would argue that perhaps, damage items, not that bad either.
Yes. I do think that some form of damage is going to be important, especially because he's under level. I mean, he's only level 13, and 16 is such a huge benchmark for this hero that I do feel that he needs some damage to make up the distinction. Yeah. He's going lifesteal right now, which is also smart.
Yeah, especially since he's not really putting that much effort into his scaling up his Frost Arrow.
Right. But I mean, he'll be maxed on that pretty soon.
Yeah.
He's at that level.
We've got ourselves a Dagon for Puck, by the way. So a little bit of extra burst damage. I actually kind of like it because the thing is, if you're gonna right-click Morphling down, he'll morph into strength, and at some point, you'll be close to taking him down, and he just keeps morphing, and your burst damage is already gone, and then just have that extra Dagon just to kick him over. I like it.
How many times does Morphling get away on 1% HP, right?
Yeah.
A lot. Also, one thing that makes Dagon a little better is Vhoul. When you have a Vhoul on the field, the Dagon is going to be doing basically pure damage.
Blue Banana again, but the Dream Coil comes out. Blue Banana still in some trouble. Now he turns on his BKB, goes on Chomi, gets a kill, goes on the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden dead as well. Maybe Big Num can make a difference here. His own BKB is on as well, but he cannot chase. He will not chase. Another Impale comes out. It's just a defensive one, though. It is Q Insane that don't want to do this anymore. But Waga jumps in. A Burrow Strike still hits upon the Dazzle, who gets nuked down. Big Num, now without his BKB, might be in some trouble. In comes Blue Banana again. Gets a silence off. Still the morph into strength is happening. But he's already up into the high ground. The Burrow Strike still comes out. Soul Assumption as well, but there's not enough burst to take him down. And they will get the tier 2 off the back of this. Vhoul did not lose a single hero this fight.
Yeah. This was a great BKB by Blue Banana, very well timed. Like at the, and they just win the fight off of that BKB activation, I would say.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can see Timbersaw is very tanky. Sand King is landing amazing burrow strikes in each of these fights that are really. Q Insane doesn't have a good response to that right now, and I mean the Bat Rider can't do anything. Yeah, he's high level. Yeah, he's farmed, but Burrow Strike is still going to ruin him unless he has a BKB of his own.
Would you say, like, is Q Insane's hope right now, is it, rather than fighting 5-on-5, is it split pushing now? Because I to be honest, I don't really see their 5-on-5 lineup, only if Batrider can make sure that it's a 4-on-5 fight, but with the puck there and going in as fast as he does to make sure that there's a Dream Coil and everybody just follows the guy that's being dragged back.
I don't think they should necessarily split push. I agree with you that they're disfavored in a 5-on-5 engagement right now until Morph gets a little more farm. But the issue with trying to split push with the Morphling is, yeah, he can replicate in theory, but you know that there's a puck that can blink on top of you and silence you. It's very dangerous to do split push when you're down so many towers that you can't really place aggressive wards in the enemy jungle and things like that. So if Morph is split pushing and then all of a sudden puck blinks and silences him, he's dead more often than not. Like, yes, he has a shotgun, which actually is almost worse because it means he's probably going to be mostly morphed into Agi all the time. Yeah. So split pushing becomes extremely high risk and potentially low reward, especially because you're a Midas Morphling. Like, you're not looking to win because you push them to death. You're looking to win because you just, like, muscled through with better farm.
I have to say, I do like the shotgun for Morph this game because, of course, Drow is fairly squishy. If she doesn't have her BKB, she has to be very careful about not getting caught out by that one. And maybe the other heroes are quite tanky, but Drow, of course, the main target for that Ethereal Blade. But I think it's gonna be very good for Q Insane.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
No, I agree.
Yesterday there were a lot of issues that Vhoul had forcing pausing the game, because of their TeamSpeak. So hopefully it's only gonna be to one pause today.
Maybe they should use Mumble, the free and open source voice over IP protocol.
Yep. Hello?
Yes, hi.
Are you sitting on game is on pausing 1?
No.
I am.
It's just this game is paused. Oh, okay. They repaused it, so maybe that's why you're seeing that.
I hope I'm not gonna get stuck on a pause. Let me know if it's on pauses.
I like this Blade Mail on Timbersaw. If he's the one that they jump in and lasso, and he manages to Blade Mail in time, which these days you usually do, just because there's that awkward moment when after Batrider has blinked on top of you, but before he's quite in lasso range, because the range is so short, that you might actually be able to just Blade Mail and do a lot of damage to them to start out a fight. True.
Very true. Especially if...
They might try to kidnap Drow more often, though.
Yeah, that would be the right goal. However, then they would use and the Ethereal Blade and the lasso on Blue Banana.
Right. They might. I mean, he is... The thing is, even without the Drow, they have so much good team fight. Like, now that Sand King's Veil is done if he wants it, or, sorry, he needs 4 gold, but I'm sure he'll make it soon. They have a tremendous amount of magic damage, even if the Drow is, like, lassoed and killed quickly. So they might still win a fight.
True. Nyx Assassin, 4 staff. This game, by the way, is not that kill heavy. I mean, we've got 26 kills in 26 minutes. Yeah. I guess I should not complain. Nyx Assassin, though, hasn't been really involved in many of those kills, and he would be the one hero that I would think, you know what, he is going to be the one to make things happen. But it's mostly been
in the early game. He was.
Yeah.
But in these team fights, yeah, he's mostly just been a stun bot. And the thing is, he's well farmed as well. Like, he has Blink 4-staff Arcane Boots.
Mm-hmm. And he's
a lot of people have a lot of good farm this game.
I think they can take him down as well. They know where he is. They have got the Batrider close by, and they're actually going to have the Batrider teleport in. And there he is, and that's going to be one dead, or that should be one dead Sand King. However, he can still Burrow Strike. Perhaps they can make it away. Burrow Strikes, Blink forward by Tilt. There's a Sandstorm. 4 staff by the Batrider, and another Blink coming from Arman. It looks like he might be able to get himself out. Where is the cavalry? No cavalry. No, you're dead.
Alright. Yeah, if they had exerted any effort whatsoever to save Sand King there, they could have. I think they wrote him off. But Vhoul is actually the best item in the game, so he was able to survive by the fact that he bought the best item in the game. So they should have come and helped him because he's carrying the best item
in the game.
Look at this freaking item, Sheever. Like, it's got better stats than drums. Like, and it has the amazing, like, active effect.
Preaching to the converted, I guess.
So good, man. No, but seriously, like, I'm being completely honest when I say, like, part of the reason he survived so long was this thing has 6 armor on it.
Yeah, I fully agree. I have to say, I wrote him off too. I thought he was dead, for sure, but... No, he lives for a long time until he dies.
Because they didn't use the Vendetta because they couldn't, because he was in Sandstorm, so that was, like, their main burst damage, and they weren't able to use it at all.
Yeah. Roshan is up, by the way, again. Vhoul is going to try to take it for the second time. They've taken down all the outer towers already, and I think with the next Aegis, they're just going to try to 5-man high ground. And it's a good call as well, because they can't wait too long, because Morphling will start to get more and more scary as time goes on. So I feel like they're kind of pressured in time. I mean, it's not like there's no hope for them late game, or very much late game, but it's that they're doing better at this stage of the game.
I agree. I think this is a great timing for them, especially as Drow approaches 16. Now that she has Manta, BKB, and the Aegis, I think they should just wait like a minute or two until she gets level 16 and then immediately high ground. Because the fact is, the net worth gap between Morph and Drow has been closing substantially ever since Vhoul took all the tier 2s. Morph has much less of a space to sort of safely farm. Right now, he can use top because he just saw them at Roshan, so he knows that they're not going to gank him here. But in general, Big Num just hasn't been farming that quickly. And you can see the difference between him and Drow is actually extremely small now.
This is...
Even with the Midas.
Even
so,
with
like,
the Midas.
Yeah. His stuff is less useful than her stuff. Like, yeah, he's got shotgun, but if you don't kill somebody with it, it's not that useful. And he's got Midas, which is almost useless in a fight. She has a BKB as well, but she has Manto, which is great for pushing and a really solid all-around item.
Yeah, and so far, I mean, you were talking about farming space earlier on. Vhoul just has got that covered. The map is theirs most of the time on most of the places, even though we have 3 people off Q and staying on the top lane. Nice blink away from tilt. Scary stuff right there.
Nice. Yeah, Wagga saw him, obviously, because Wagga has the gem. Wagga, by the way, up to Dagon 3 now.
Yeah. Still getting that burst going.
Yeah, I mean, if they silence Morph, like, it's all over, right? Like, Dagon alone with a Veil on them will be enough, almost.
Yeah, especially since he's morphed into quite a lot of agility. As you mentioned, he has got the Ethereal Blade, so if he wants to make the best out of that, you have to be kind of on the edge to be...
It almost it almost promotes the wrong habits in this game, like...
Yeah, and I'm kind of waiting... Oh, it looks like I don't have to wait anymore. I was waiting for Vhoul to group up as 5 and go for it, and it looks like they're going to group and go bottom in this case. An interesting choice, because bottom lane is the lane where they have least wards, but they're going to try anyway. Of course, now they also know if people come back in the lane or if people aren't bottom.
Bottom is the right choice because they know top is really pushed the wrong way.
Oh, that's an Ethereal.
Ethereal does a lot of damage.
Yeah, on the Timber Saw though, and he gets mech'd up again. Blink forward, gets himself the Timber Saw, but I don't think... Well, he's still dead. Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden, Wicked Sick die as well though, as Tilt can't really get anything off anymore. Nice by Carapace. In the meantime, Epicenter, they want to try and take down this Morphling, but he's morphing the strength. He's morphing like crazy. Still that Veil up on him, and the Orb will kill him off. That Veil does so much work for them right now. They're gonna win this fight. They're gonna take the tier 3. It looks like they should be able to take the melee Rex as well. Might back off afterwards, because in comes Morphling again. Nice impale up on the Drow. Drow loses her Aegis, but will be up again fully. And
more silence.
Yep, there it is. And in they go, looking for another Q on Big Num. Can they do it? Ethereal Blade will hold Blue Banana off for the moment, and Impale comes out with a bit of extra damage, and they do get the Drow Ranger in the end. Nicely done, and they force out Vhoul.
Puck was 20 mana short, I think, of Dagon. That's the only reason that fight happened that way. Like, if Puck had just Dagon'd Morph, it's over. Like, the game is over.
I think I would, if Morph would have died there, that would have been a done game. But they defend, they also get the Visage while the rest tries to get themselves out of there, which is of course a great help to them.
Yeah.
They have got the gem all of their own right now to count towards some of the wards that Vhoul has been placing. As, well, I mean...
Wow.
Vhoul used...
Scary.
Yeah, Vhoul used an Aegis there, fair enough, you know, that they definitely invested something, and worth it as well. But it seemed like... You know, they might have died in the end, but they still got so much off the back of it. They can just do it again on every lane. Might not be getting tier 3 and Rex every single time, but they'll push pretty fast as well. I mean, their pushing power is something scary. It's not really that there's a specific pushing hero, but with the birds, with the aura,
Drow.
the Drow, It's going very fast. A lot faster than I
It
ever
is. I
thought.
mean, honestly, like Drow, because they like you saw the instant that Drow hit 16 was when they did that push, and that's smart. Like you have to use that timing, and with Manta, which helps their pushing capability quite a bit. It's very legitimate. I actually, honestly, like Vhoul are doing very well. Like they're using their strategy exactly correctly, and like I can't say it enough. Like 40 mana, maybe like 36 mana was the difference between taking a Rax and taking the entire game. So that's
Yeah.
how difficult of a position Q and Sane are in, because Wagga just picked up 2 more upgrades to his Dagon. So actually, that's a big deal, not because of the extra damage, but because it's cheaper and the cooldown is lower. If he can Dagon twice in a fight and have the mana to do so, Morph's going to have an extremely difficult time, because he's always going to have to Morph Strength, and that means he's not going to be dealing any damage.
Yeah, and on top of that, I mean, first of all, they still lose their range Rax bottom. But Morph, of course, also is... he was forced to buy back. He does get a kill right now, which is great for him, but he was forced to buy
Nyx
back.
is hunting Drow.
Oh, let's see if they can take it down. In comes an Impale. The Impale actually misses. Now the BKBs get turned on. They look for a target to lasso. Can they actually find someone Lefkin? Oh, Dimmer Chain under the puck. Very risky. Waga still gets dragged forward. Tilt gets a mana burn off. In comes the face shift. Might be enough. The Gust indeed doing the work. And in comes the BKB. Now that's going to be Puck dead. Finally, they get him, but they lose their Bat Rider. Blue Banana can't go on a man fight with Bignum right now. Knows that he has to back off. He has got another Gust if he wants to. Goes for it as well. And in comes the Timber Chain with that burst damage. This could be trouble. Ethereal Blaze still gets Bignum the kill. And the silence is about to be over. The Force Staff from Stompa saves his life. And that's going to be a fight that Q Insane is going to be very, very, very pleased with, because that just put them completely back into the game, I believe. And where are all those gems? Because Sand King has one. Like, there were 2 gems that dropped on the floor. One is on the... Oh, actually, Vhoul got both of them in the end. Timber Saw and Sand King got them.
Yeah, there are no gems left for Q Insane. And Vhoul has 2. Wow, what a sloppy fight. From both teams,
From
honestly.
both teams, yeah.
Yeah. That fight was a huge mess, but honestly, the Gust from Blue Banana was really excellently timed. It meant that Wagga was alive for much longer than he would have been, caused Q Insane to have to overcommit. The Bat Rider BKB ended up mostly wasted, and he died even, and he used the 10-second charge. So, but you did see the power of Morphling. Like, in a one-on-one fight against Drow Ranger, he destroys
Drow doesn't
her.
stand a chance. Like, no way.
Because he was close enough to turn off. That's the other thing. He waveformed just to get turn off her what the hell is it called? Marksmanship. And without marksmanship, I mean, the hero is like weak.
Yeah. And I find that, like, Blue Banana, he knows that he is in trouble in terms of squishiness. It looks to be going for the, like, finishing the static before anything else. And, I mean, it's interesting. It's not going pure for damage. It's really relying on that aura to work for him, of course, and his team to create the time for him to attack. There is a lot of disable on his team, though, so that's definitely there. But it's an interesting item build, I find. We do have a Roshan up again soon. We are soon knowing how long it will take. But it will be from now until 3 minutes that the Roshan will be there. And I think that this would be the first Roshan where Q Insane is actually going to try to actively fight it, because they can't afford to give it to Vhoul again. Because last time they did it, it cost them a lane of Rax.
I agree. They really... Q Insane can't lose another lane. Like, they don't even have the tier 2s down. If you're 2 racks down and there's still tier 2s up for the opposing team, game is pretty hard. They also have this issue where their supports are way less farmed because of the greediness of Batrider and Morphling. Like, yes, Batrider and Morphling have very good net worth now, but the Crystal Maiden and the Dazzle are really suffering. Dazzle basically only has Medallion, which is a great item, don't get me wrong, and I think Cloak is a good pickup as well. And Crystal Maiden has Force Staff, but compare that to the fact that Visage has a full Aghanim Scepter and mech. Like, there's no mech up for Q Insane, which is pretty important when your Morphling gets low health and gets silenced. And then if you look at Sand King is balling out of control, basically. He's got Travels, Blink, Veil, the best item in the game. Like,
he's got
all he needs
more
is
farm than
Atos
his
to have both
offlaner.
best items.
Like, he is rich.
Yeah, he is.
What do you think, by the way, about Dazzle's choice to not go for Weave in level 11, level 2?
I don't...
Oh,
I mean,
wait a second! Nick's assassin, rather. Nick's dead. Maybe Chomi also dead? Chomi will be able to fly to the high ground. And his team is there too to back him up, or supports rather. But that's a dead Nick's assassin. Wrong place, wrong time, and you can't really scout like that. Oh,
Whoa.
Morphling.
Whoa.
Silence up, turns on his BKB, goes for Durham. BKB's all around though. Blue Banana gets one as well. Is having a slight high ground advantage. In comes now Burr. Oh my god, the nukage. It's too much. Chomi needs to run. They cannot die. If they die now, this could be the end of the game. Chomi, we could take on the hunt. There will be another Burrow strike shortly. There should be. There is 2 stick charges in our men. It's not enough to get him the mana for the Burrow strike. So he'll just wait for it, wait for his team to chase the targets down. They get 3 in total, including that Nyx Assassin. But without the Morphling for 80 seconds, Morphling does have buyback again, I do believe. Yes, he does have buyback again. They're going to try to force out the buyback.
I think this Morph needs some lifesteal or something. I don't even know. He's really getting just wrecked by these silences and the burst damage. I mean, that Vhoul and the blink in by our men. But just these initiations from Q and Sin are a little strange. I mean, now you're up against a team with 2 gems. How is Nyx Assassin? Like, what's Nyx Assassin's plan there?
That was the point that was going to make before all hell broke loose. But yeah, you can't, like, okay, they kill him off again. You can't do that. You know that they have actually 2 gems because they also took yours.
Yeah.
So you can't really hope to roam around and trying to find someone.
The Dagon is just owning them too.
Yes.
Like it one-shots most of their a lot of their heroes, or comes close to one-shotting a lot of their heroes.
It's really doing a lot of work.
I don't know. It's Q and Sane are really at the point of it. Morph sold his Midas after buying back just for more gold so that he would sort of not stop his farming. But he's last hitting creeps that are giving him nothing because he has this buyback gold penalty.
Yep.
He's almost done with the Manta. I think after that he probably needs, some tankiness or lifesteal or something.
Yeah, and one of the downsides of the Morphling right now as well is that his BKB is down to 5 seconds.
Yep.
Which is gonna hurt him even more. Like, Vhoul's lineup is gonna be more effective because the Vhoul is gonna be having more of an uptime, or gonna have more effect. Can dagon him more often if you want to. It's scary. And now with an Aegis on the side of Vhoul, with the cheese as well, because this was the 3rd Roshan. Yeah. I like, if Vhoul plays this properly, this could be game.
Yeah, I mean, Puck is going to be able to spam out so many spells, all of which are going to be really helped by the fact that Vale will be up on the opposing team. Like, Puck, his damage output is already good. With somebody using Vale for him, his damage output is incredible. And then Dagon on top of that, 800 damage every 15 seconds. I mean, the Dazzle is not going to stay alive.
No. And the armor that he can put on, I mean, it's going to do some... It's going to be some help, but... Like, Morphling right now needs quite a bit of time to nice Visage Bird to use this.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's using the Ags. He's just continuing to harass with this Ride of the Valkyrie style play.
I mean, he's going on the range Rex as well, constantly. It's just, don't need to
he's
put
gonna
yourself
brood
at risk
mother
for
it
that.
with this Visage Familiar.
Yeah. But right now, Big Num, he is not, like, he has his Manta style ready, but he is not farmed enough to be doing, like, he needs time to actually get the enemy team down, quite a bit of time actually. And I don't think it's being given. There's so much nuke damage coming out from Vhoul.
I actually think that Q and Sane may have been beaten here. Like, even just the Visage Familiars are a nearly unsolvable problem for them. Like, look at how much time Batrider's spending literally just cutting trees down in their own base.
Yeah.
The reason for this is, I mean, this combo hasn't been used in a while, and certainly not on a professional level. They've cut out Levkin, so that's a good kill. But he's just gonna buy back, I think.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, he'll just buy back. There's no reason not to. So even just the familiars can clear out their ranged racks so incredibly quickly because they don't have to stop to recharge their damage charges, because their base damage is 60, is like 80 because of Drow Aura.
It's like, where did it go wrong? Because I remember start of the game, Q and Saint was actually doing really well, and I was starting to get worried for Vhoul. What changed? Was it the blink dagger of the Sand King?
Yeah, he leveled and got the blink, and every single fight after that, RMN has been stunning 2 or 3 people. And when Sand King gets blink like that, and they start taking down, like, when you have no supports in fights, you can't win fights. And Crystal Maiden and Dazzle, Q Insane intentionally sacrificed both levels and farm on these supports to feed Morphling and Batrider. And, like, how much have they really gotten from all that farm on Batrider, right? Like, it's great that he has Blink Dagger, Force Staff, BKB, and Travels, but I wouldn't you rather he have, like, Brown Boots, Force Staff, Blink Dagger, and Black King Bar, and Crystal Maiden have Mech or something?
Yep. Mech. especially. I mean, with all the nuke damage coming out from Vhoul, you know, get a mech. Make sure you can at least live through that, some of that. And even if you live through it, still have enough life left in you to actually fight back rather than just try to run.
Yeah. So I think it's just, yeah, also they got the gem was another huge pickup. The 7 sentry wards into gem.
Yep.
Honestly, like, that was a big deal because Nyx Assassin has not been a factor despite having his own boots, force staff, blink dagger.
Yeah, quite surprised that they are actually carrying around both of the gems. I was expecting like one to be left in the farm or something, but...
This is the team that put 7 sentries down.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if I actually said this out loud or if I was just thinking it, but I was going to say, like, stealth vision was going to be the absolute most important thing for Vhoul this game. And so I actually think their decision to just overload on it is really smart. Like, yeah, it's a little more money than you might want to spend, but the number one way you lose this game is Nyx and Bat just take you apart time after time after time. And there's no price too big to pay to avoid losing the game to something like that.
This is very true. I actually, like, Vhoul is right now farming the map and is basically choking Q-Insane to death by just putting them up in their base and forcing them to farm either creeps that have only half the gold.
Dun, da, da, da.
Or just, because they're just doing the visage thing in the meantime, right?
Yep.
Right now they're coming forward again. We'll see how long they will risk their lives slightly. They still have that Aegis, they still have the cheat. Look at this! Hello, your base is under attack. He was just allowed to stand there.
They ran out of Drow Aura, but they can still take the range strikes. Oh, it's back on. Never mind.
Yep. Lasso, that's our men. Perhaps they can take something down. Impale comes out as well. They do drop the Sand King. That might be the one thing that they need. At the same time, Crystal Maiden gets taken down as well, though. Blue or Big Num, can he make something happen? Can he take down someone? They only need to get at least Visage Bird. They get the Timber Saw as well, but it looks like the rest might not be able. Oh, Blue Banana. That would be a huge pickup. Still has, of course, that Aegis, but his team is kind of abandoning him. Is kind of not here. Where is his team? There is, of course, Puck, who was in the side. Mostly. Puck went down, and Visage is now the last one alive, who's already back in base. So Blue Banana completely caught out by himself, goes for the gust, but yeah, he's gonna die. Oh, is he getting saved? He is getting saved! It was a save! Thank you, Morphling! That actually happened!
That was so bad! Oh my god. Oh my god.
I just, you know, it's just...
That just happens.
Like, that's...
Theory.
Oh! Like, really?
I mean, I don't know. Would they really have been able to kill him if the ethereal, like, if it hadn't?
Because the biggest chunk of damage did come from the ethereal blade, granted, but they could have probably interrupt him because they had I think they still had poison touch, right?
Well, you can poison touch an ethereal target.
True.
So no, I don't think they did. I mean, Blue Banana, he actually whiffed a gust that was really important on Nyx Assassin that I think would have let him live anyway. But still, wow, it's a pretty funny play. I mean, you can just see it's really desperate times for Q-Insane. The Crystal Maiden gets picked off so quickly that she can't like actually use her disables or her freezing field, which is really important.
Yeah.
I mean, the Morphling's level 25. He's capped. He has most of a Scotty, or at least half of a Scotty.
Yep.
But I don't know. They lost both their ranged Draxes. They still have the melee, so that's the important thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Was it worth fight for Vhoul? I mean, they lost 4 heroes, they lost the cheese, they lost the Aegis, they got 2 ranged attacks.
If they had forced, like, if they had gotten the Drow Rager kill, I'd say Vhoul more or less lost the fight. Instead, I still think they're pretty much in control, but this morph is scary. Like, it's not like it's hopeless for Q-Insane.
Especially now if they can find a pick-off here, as they have smoked up. But look at the positioning of Vhoul. I mean, they're all together. Even if someone gets grabbed right now, everybody will be there to back him up.
Exactly, and look at just the gold on Vhoul. Like, Timbersaw's sitting on 3.5k, Puck is 2k, Drow is 2k, even Visage has his Boots of Travel. Oh, they took the Replicant down. If that gust lands, they kill him, but it missed narrowly. It's not the easiest thing to aim. It's hard to tell how far it travels, etc.
And Vhoul is playing pretty aggressively right now for not having an Aegis. I mean, the pick-up
well, they want to close the game out, right?
Yes. Yeah,
like,
fair
look,
enough.
the creeps just took a tier 4, so the pressure is there.
Yeah, and the familiars are already pushing on the top lane again, and they have got pretty big range creep army as well. Range creeps who are of course now mega ranged. And yeah, they can just start. There is still a fortification up for Q Insane, but they're gonna get forced into using it very, very soon. They go in first. BKB's all around. Big Num is just starting to right-click down Blue Banana. Blue Banana will actually live for the moment, but in comes a burst strike on Big Num. The Grave keeps him up for a little while longer, but he gets silenced and he can't move out. Gets forced up by his teammate. Another first off makes it out alive. Now Stompa has the freezing field and was able to at least do something big. And did Wagga really just die by back and come back in his orb? I believe he did.
Yeah, he did the pro tactics.
Yep.
But it's megas. I mean, they can't defend
it's
this.
Megas. They get the racks. They, in the end, I mean, everybody is alive again, apart from Dazzle, I guess. Stompa will now go down as well, and I think like this should be game unless Q Insane can win the biggest team fight of their life, goes all 5 mid and ends the game that way. Well, they are on the right track. They have already taken down 3. The GG, however, has come out.
Really? I don't agree with this GG. I think
neither.
this is a mistake to GG. If he can take down Drow, they can go for an all-in top.
I
don't
saying.
agree with this.
Well,
Drow bought back. Like, if he kills... okay, I don't know. I don't think they should have GG'd, but okay.
Well, Big Num is still really, really wanted to chase this down, and actually, someone has pressed cancel on the GG thing.
Yeah, they shouldn't GG. Like, they should go now and all-in top. I don't know, Chobi's like in fountain, not moving.
There, now it calls the GG, so now we're gonna see the thing the throne explode.
I don't know about this. I think that they should have kept playing. Like, they could have maybe, if they pick off Drow after her buyback and travels in, they have 100 seconds with, like 130 seconds without Drow. Yeah, you're facing Megas, but you can at least try. I don't know.
By the way, the next game has waited for us.
Nice.
And I gave you just the password. It's a new one. So yeah, Vhoul, they keep themselves in the Yard-wide Festival. Q Insane, they are the 4th team, I believe, or 5th team to get eliminated from the Yard-wide Festival. This is, of course, loser bracket best out of 1 games. We're going to see another one of those. We're going to see Zero Respect. And they will be taking on the team of Courage Gaming. So stick around. We're going to be back here soon with the next game of the Yard-wide Festival. Don't go anywhere.